Have you ever had one of those moments where you stop and you look around and think, what have I gotten us into? Well, that's exactly what happened on this trip. We set out to explore the North Georgia mountains, scouting some beginner-friendly trails for a group of new Jeepers. Simple enough, right? As any off-roader knows, things don't always go as planned. Somewhere between this looks like a great route and oops, that's deeper than I thought, we found ourselves in a bit of a situation. And let's just say, I may owe my crew an apology. So come along with us because this adventure took a turn that we never expected. Welcome to Road Rash Off-Road and welcome to What Have I Gotten Us Into? We're here in northern Georgia. Hop in. Up. Good girl. We're kind of doing a little scouting run today. We've got a ride coming up for the club that we're going to introduce maybe some new Jeepers who aren't so familiar with off-roading and four-wheel drive, and we're going to kind of scout some new trails that would be beginner trails for them and keep them out of trouble a little bit. But today's gonna be just a fun, low-key scouting day. Let's go. So recently, within the last week, Onyx Off-Road has now released their navigation tracking on their GPS systems on their Onyx Off-Road. This is a perfect opportunity for me to kind of test it out, and I'm going to use and rely on and depend on only Onyx Off-Road throughout this whole trip, not using any other navigation, Google Maps or anything to get me to my locations. I'm going to only rely on Onyx Off-Road and their new navigation feature to see how well it works. So this is the first time that I've taken the Road Rash Jeep off-road since I had my gears swapped over to 513s. Previously, I was running 373 gears, and which was fine when I was on my stock rims with 35s, ran perfect. When I took on my partnership with Anthem Off-Road and they sent me a new set of Anthem Off-Road Liberty wheels, and then they also wrapped those in 37-inch Kenda Cleaver MT2 tires. Everything changed. The steering got sloppy. You probably saw that in my Florida video. My gear ratio was just, it went to crap. So I immediately called Bradley, Black Bear Off-Road, and just said, I need to address two things. First, my steering, the steering just got super sloppy. Super easy fix. All my front suspension had already been changed except for one thing, which is my tie rod. My tie rod was still stock, and which meant like the bushing that was on my tie rod had already worn out. So changing the tie rod, putting a new Yeti tie rod in there, tightened everything up, perfect. The next thing to address was obviously my gear ratio. 373 gears on a set of 37-inch mud tires. Wasn't kicking it. Bradley just installed the 513s. I think they're the Yukon 513s in the Jeep. And I was really kind of taking 500, 600, 800 miles or so to kind of baby it. I hit that 500 mile mark so that I could change out the fluids, drain everything, replace everything, and then just kind of still took it easy a little bit. I'm right at probably about 1,000 miles now, and I'm finally able to kind of go off-road and do some things that I've been wanting to do. So I'm still taking it easy. This is going to be an easy trail. This is not going to be some hard rock crawling trail. At least the intentions are not for it to be a hard rock crawling trail, but I guess we'll just have to see what this has in store for us, because we don't really have anything planned. We're just scouting and investigating and seeing what we can find. Overall, these 513s make a massive difference, and man, I feel it. It feels fantastic. It feels amazing, and I'm super excited that I put these in the Jeep. I love finding these little bitty tiny roads like this. Looks like it's not traveled at all, but sometimes these are some of the best finds. You can find some really cool dispersed camping or something back there. So we're just going to drive back here and just see where this thing ends up. This is kind of cool. Good. Good, go 8 feet, 6 feet, 4 feet, 3 feet. Still good. 2 feet, still good. Okay, stop. Go drive it. Should be good. Trail. It was super tight, went way back into the woods, was definitely overgrown, not a whole lot of people traveling that road, but we marked it on Onyx Off-Road anyway. Could be a potential campsite back there if we wanted to do some dispersed camping. I personally probably wouldn't camp back there unless I had to, only because I'd normally like to sleep near water or near some sort of opening feature, and that was just really kind of closed off. Some people it might be okay. For me, I don't know, I think I could find better. Anyway, we marked it. It's not going to be something that we would take a large group of people with, obviously, because it's just an in and out, and you have to turn around at the back of it. We couldn't get a whole bunch of Jeeps turned around like that. So nice to know that. Let's keep on moving. So it's been snowing a lot here in Georgia lately, and We haven't had snow in probably 2 or 3 days, but the remnants of it is still hanging around. You got ice coming off the mountaintops, ice on the road, some snow on the side, but it's super pretty to see. I just wish that we could have come up here when it was full of snow. I bet you it was beautiful.
I said, is that a big chunk of ice? But, I mean, if you want to go find water.
This trail here was a pretty awesome find. It's not too technical, but it's definitely got a little bit more off-camber little ruts in the ground, in the road. So it's actually kind of fun to navigate, which would be something perfect for a new Jeeper, because it's not bad enough for them to get into some trouble. Any new stock Jeep could do this, but it's just probably difficult enough where some new Jeepers who are just kind of getting familiar with how to operate their Jeep and how to look at lines in the road, it's probably just good enough, just difficult enough for that. This would be a nice little road for some new Jeepers to get familiar with their rigs.
Sweet like wine, got honey on her tongue. One hand on a bottle, she got one hand on a gun. She squeezed that trigger, you as good as done. I should be running from you, darling, now till kingdom come. Cause my mother told me as a child, boy, don't play around with fire, cause you might just end up getting burned. And I know it can never rest, so I always try my best. But there's some lessons hard for me to learn, like good boys don't play with bad girls. Good boys stay away from them bad girls, yeah. The good ones just can't get me high, so I'll be falling all my life for one of these bad girls. You bad girl, but you do me so good. Friends call me a dummy, cause she taking all my money, but I make it rain like 24/7. If it mean a little time with you, break my heart and leave me hurt, the next one just gon' do me worse. So if they all no good, I'll just be bad with you. Cause my mother told me as a child, boy, don't play around with fire, cause you might just end up getting burned. And I know it can never rest, so I always try my best. But there's some lessons hard for me to learn, like good boys don't play with bad girls. Good boys stay away from them bad girls, them bad girls. The good ones
6 navigation has not failed me. It has been accurately right on. We popped out of, I think it was called Horseshoe Bend Trail, and then now we're on a one called Bryant Creek. Looks like a short little one way in, one way out kind of trail, but we'll kind of investigate and look and see. I'm always documenting new campsites, cool river crossings, or just cool things that, you know, maybe people would like to see if they were on a Jeep tour somewhere. Let's check out Bryant Creek. Until now, the adventure had gone just to plan. We had found so many awesome and new trails for beginners, but that was all about to change. I saw this little shoot-off trail that went to the side, and I said, let's go investigate this trail. 5 minutes into it, I found myself apologizing and asking, what have I gotten us into? What I have gotten us into, but we are in some tight jungle. It literally, I'm doing like 2 miles an hour. It feels like we're in some Disney show. They actually said, are we in the Jungle Book or something? All these like, oh man. And everything my rooftop tent and my awning keeps getting hung up on everything. Well, let me just tell you that Nature Nest awning, the 270 awning, has to be like beast mode, because it is taking the most abusive beating right now, and it is holding strong. There's no tears or no gashes in it. I'm having to lift limbs over top of it. Hang on, I'm gonna have to do it right now. You hear all that? Yeah, I don't know what I've gotten us into. This is not going to be on the beginner trail. But it is really fun to investigate. stop. Now you're on that route in the back again. So cut it driver just a little bit. Yep, back strip, back up, and then stop. Now cut it past hard passenger, and then there you go. Back up. Now go straight. There you go. Yeah, just back straight up, and then as soon as you back up, I can't see the tree behind you. There you go. Now cut hard driver. All right, now to me. You're good. You're gonna bounce right off that tree right there. There you go. Straight up, straighten up. Perfect. Come on up. You're gonna come off that ledge. There you go. That's fine. All right, hold up. You hit the tree. There you go. Look at that, showing us all how to do it. Didn't even need any help.
Nicely done.
This has turned into such an awesome trail. Not for everyone, for sure. It is very tight, very narrow, and very scratchy. Lots of limbs down, lots of trees down, and we are off camber right now. And I do not, hang on a second. English, how am I looking over there to my right there?
Clearing the trees. You've got about a 15-degree angle or something by the looks of it, but you're clearing the trees.
Makes me a little bit nervous that I might start sliding, but we'll see. I'm good. But yeah, not for everyone. But this is such a fun find. Make sure English gets across.
Sunlight dances on the balcony as I wait for you to come.
I'm being so quiet because I have to focus. I'm surprised I'm even shooting on the camera because, oh man, this road is so tight. I could feel, in some cases, the rear end of the Jeep sliding off. All right, we are not too far from the end of this little cut through adventure. I've been looking out for bear. I mean, this is the perfect time of the year, perfect place to find them, and I'm surprised I haven't seen any, but we probably scared them off with our Jeeps coming through the woods, but I'm surprised I haven't seen any yet. This has been a really fun, interesting, scratchy, butt puckering, all those kind of things, that kind of trail. But this is the kind of adventure that I was hoping that we would find today. came out of the little cut-through trail on this other trail that's up in this Chattahoochee area. It's called Williams Gap. I've never been to Williams Gap, but I think it's, according to Onyx, it's a one-way in, one-way out. But it does look like it's got another cut-through trail at the end. But I don't know if I want to attempt another one like that again. I don't know if the guys that are with me are going to want to attempt something like that again. I don't know. We'll ask them. We'll just give them the choice and just say, hey, we're at the end of the trail. We can either turn around and go all the way back, or there's this cut through, and that might throw them off. They might be like, absolutely not. Or they might be for it. Let's see. You know, there's not much to this Williams Gap Road, but it's so pretty though. Especially because we're higher elevation up here and the snow is just not melting. So you still have a lot of ice and a lot of white still around. But we're coming up on the end of Williams Gap. The sun's starting to go down, you can tell, just over the mountain over there. You see the sun going down over there. Even if they did want to go and take that little cut through at the end, I don't know if we should, because if we get stuck down in there in the dark, that's going to be brutal. Yeah, we talked about it. Nobody was down for the next cut through going in between the trails. So we're headed home. It's probably about 4:30. It's going to take most people right at 2 hours to get home, and we're losing sunlight. I know it's only 4:30, but when you're up in the mountains, it gets dark quick. So this was a good Saturday ride today, just to get out and do some kind of reconnaissance, to kind of plot out some beginner trails and where not to take beginners. I think this is going to be a fun ride that we're going to put together for some newbie Jeepers coming up in probably March or so. So if you guys are around in Georgia and you want to be a part of that ride, you want to jump on that newbie ride and just kind of come out and have fun, bring your family and sandwiches and make a day of it, then DM me below and let me know, and we will tell you the deets on when the exact date is, where the meetup is, what the route is, and if you guys are wanting to take that ride with us, come on. Like and subscribe to Road Rash Off-Road YouTube. We've got lots of videos coming up, a lot of overlanding trips coming up, including one that we're going out to the Ozarks this year. We're going to do Hot Springs and go grab our badge of honors. Then we're going up to S'more, South Missouri. We're going to go grab those badge of honors, and then we're going to explore a little bit of the Ozarks. That's going to be an amazing trip. We've got another trip that we're going to Turkey Bay. We're going to go grab our badge of honors up there. And then we've got another trip going to the Outer Banks to Cape Lookout. That one's been on my bucket list for a minute now. So, and we've got another overlanding trip that we're doing in November. That one is going to be the Smoky Mountain 500. I've never done this route before. I know it kind of encompasses parts of the Georgia Traverse once you enter into Georgia, but the majority of it is going to be north, or Tennessee and north. So those are places that I haven't really explored yet. So like and subscribe to Road Rash Off-Road. You can see more of Dobby on there. Right, Dobby? She loves this. Okay, we had a hiccup on the way out. Massive sheet of ice here, and as the Jeep, I'm sliding. Whoa, I'm sliding and filming.
Okay.
The Jeep was going up. It's just started sliding and turning, and now I'm completely sideways. I tried to winch, but something sparked on my winch. Wouldn't you know, right when I need it, it freaking goes out. So I gotta address that when I get home. There's a van here too. I think he's stuck, so we're gonna get the van moved, and then if this thing swings downhill, it doesn't really matter.
With all of y'all, I would get out of the road before you
So we got Stuart, who's going to try to winch this guy up just enough that he can get his tires onto some gravel. He's going to try to back down. We made it out, saved a little old lady in her Sprinter van, helped her out too. Feel accomplished today. Now we can go home. It was all timed perfectly so that we can just catch the sunset on the way down.
Sometimes it's really